Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Matt here, and we back with another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. So today I'm going to be talking about Aljamain Sterling defending his 135-pound championship, bantamweight championship against Henry Cejudo this Saturday at UFC 288. This is going to be a very interesting fight, very intriguing because there's a lot of different directions that this could go. So this is not actually going to be a picks video. I'm going to make my pick later on in the week because I like to see the press conference. I like to see how the fighters are acting. I try to make the pick before the weigh-ins, but sometimes I like to wait to even after the weigh-ins because all of these are generally factors in who might end up winning the fight. You know, you can kind of get a good idea for a fighter's mentality throughout the week. All I really want to touch on today is the what ifs. The what ifs being, we're going to touch on what if Aljamain Sterling wins and defends his bantamweight championship, and what if Henry Cejudo wins and becomes the two-time bantamweight champion. Let's start with Henry Cejudo, Triple C himself. Triple C. Let's start out with him. So if Henry Cejudo goes out there this Saturday, UFC 288, defeats Aljamain Sterling, where does he go from there? You know? Where does he go? I mean, for real, you tell me now. So here's the thing. If he goes out there and he defeats him, you know Sean O'Malley is in play. Okay? Let's just get that out the way. If you didn't know, I was getting ready to say, Sean O'Malley, what are you doing, bro? You need to watch a little bit more MMA. You need to understand the UFC, understand it's a machine, it's a business, and business is a booming right now. Here's the deal. If Henry beats Aljamain Sterling, for sure, the next title fight at bantamweight is going to be against Sugar Sean O'Malley. It just is what it is, man. There's no way around it. Sugar Sean has a huge following. You know, he's not a star like in the magnitude of like a Conor McGregor or Izzy or anybody like that, you know, Adesanya. But if Sean O'Malley comes along, he touches on many different dynamics. You know, he brings in the hip hop audience, although I don't like Tekashi 6'9", 6'2", 6'12", whoever he is. I don't really deal with all of that. However, he brings in the hip-hop crowd. He brings in the young crowd. He brings in the 420 weed smokers. He brings in all types of crowds. All different types of people love Sugar Sean O'Malley. He sells his own merch. He's got a popular YouTube show. He's got a popular podcast. He does streaming. He's been streaming for years. You know, the first was like DJ, and then it was Sean O'Malley as far as really getting that money off of that stream. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about a Twitch except for, you know, that's the only Twitch I know. But that dude's been out there eating off Twitch for a long time. So, I mean, you know, the thing that I'm saying is the guy, he is definitely huge for the UFC. All right? He's not in that McGregor level or anything like that, but this guy's a star and he's huge. Henry Cejudo understands the game, okay? He's not going to go out there and play with it the way that Aljamain Sterling has been. He knows who he wants to call out. He knows who he wants to go after because he made that misstep of retiring early right after he beat Dominic Cruz. That was just a misstep. He thought he was going to retire, and he was thinking that the UFC was definitely going to offer him a ton of money to continue fighting. And they did not. You know, UFC was like, whatever, bro. And they did not offer him a lot of money. They did not offer him a lot of money to keep him around. As a matter of fact, as soon as that fight ended in the post-fight press conference, Dana White was already saying, we're going to do Jose Aldo for 135 pounds against Peter Yan. That's what we're going to do, so leave us alone. That's how that happened. So that didn't work out for Henry Cejudo, and he's been sitting out ever since. But he managed to talk his way into this title shot, into this fight. I mean, he never truly lost the bantamweight belt. He just basically gave it up because he retired for a little while. So that's that side of it. If Henry wins, he for sure knows he's only got so many fights left in him. He's a big game fighter at this point. He only wants the big game. Thus, he's coming back and he's fighting for the world championship. He ain't gonna come back and just get into wars with people. He don't have to do all of that. So if he beats Aljo, you got to look at it and it's like there's only two people he's going to fight next after that. He's either going to be Aljo and he's going to step in there with Sugar Sean O'Malley. And I really, unless he just literally has no desire to fight at 135 pounds, the only other fight that could be made, and this is only if he doesn't want to fight at 135, is going to be against Volkanovski. He'll go up to 145. He'll challenge for that belt, and that's what that will be. So that's your two fights. If Henry goes out there and wins, he's going to fight Sugar Sean, or he's going to step in there with Volkanovski for 145. So that way he can be, as he calls it, C4. He could be the most decorated combat sports athlete, or at least, that's how he labels himself. And I mean, how could you argue? Four UFC titles, I guess. Is that four? No, 3 UFC titles if he wins at 145, and he's got a gold medal. So I mean, that does say a lot. So there you go. He might go down as the best, as the greatest. Give him his flowers now. Do it right now. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's move over to Aljo. Now, if Aljamain Sterling wins, this is a little bit more up in the air because Aljo, and no disrespect to him, happy to see that young brother out there getting money. He's out there providing for his family. He's living his life. He's setting up generational wealth. That's what we like to see around here. So great to him. But sometimes he makes a misstep on what his next fight is going to be. He calls out the wrong person. He waits too long to call somebody out. He gets twisted in social media and is not sure who should be next. And then by the time he realizes the correct fight to ask for or to take or to call for, it's like 2 or 3 months too late. And then the steam is a little bit off of that. With that being said, if Aljo does the right thing, he'll step in there against Sugar Sean O'Malley. Again, huge fight. It's going to make him the most money the same way it's going to make Henry the most money. Straight up, if Aljo fought Sugar Sean, the most money he's going to make on his next fight. Same thing with Henry Cejudo. So Sugar Sean is the man. He is in the driver's seat as far as that goes. That's the most money either one of those fighters can make. Way more than a fight with Alexander Volkanovski. So, with that being said, Aljo is getting extremely big for the weight class the older he gets. Man is chiseled. He's diesel. He looks good getting off the bus. Whatever other type of sayings you want to throw out there. That's who he is. So, if he don't fight Sugar Sean, he's going up to 145, and he's stepping in there with Volkanovski. And that's why I say his is a little bit more up in the air. It really depends. If he's staying at 135, he can only fight Sugar Sean. That's just what it is at this point. If he's not going to stay at 135, he's going up to 145. He'll drop that belt. He'll drop 135. So that way, his friend Marab can challenge for the belt. And he'll go up to 145 pounds and he'll challenge Alexander Volkanovski. In my opinion, what he should do, because I think Henry Cejudo is the same way. In my opinion, what both fighters should do is both, after they win at 135 pounds, should fight Sugar Sean. You make the most money, and both guys have an outstanding wrestler base. And I mean, Aljo's a human backpack. No one takes a back better than Aljo. Pause. And he gets behind these people and he chokes them out. It is what it is. So, in my opinion, that's the fight for either guy to make, because if Sean O'Malley has any sort of a weakness, it's going to be his wrestling. So if Henry Cejudo wins, if Aljo wins, y'all needs to call out Sugar Sean O'Malley and make that your next fight. Either one of these guys stepping in the Volkanovski, I mean, heck of a chance that both of them loses when you're talking about Volko. No disrespect to Aljo and no disrespect to Henry Cejudo. But, you know, that's a tough fight. Whereas I think for both fighters, it's a very easy fight against Sean O'Malley. I'm not saying they're going to wash him, and Sugar Sean has no chance of winning, but that's a much easier fight based out of their base in wrestling. So, in my opinion, either guy that wins number one fight is Sugar Sean O'Malley. Number two is moving up to 145 pounds and fighting Alexander Volkanovski for 145 pounds, the featherweight title. So that's just what I feel. That's my take on the ish. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know what you think. You know, let me know, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know how you feel. Who do you think they'll fight? They'll end up fighting next. That's just the only two guys that I could see that either fighter could step up and fight. So we'll see how it plays out. It goes down this weekend, UFC 288. Aljamain Sterling defends the Bantamweight Championship against Henry Cejudo. I appreciate you guys watching another episode of Matter of Fact MMA, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.